Good evening, everyone. I hope you're having a good night. It's a little after midnight here in South Carolina, but I figure I'd make a quick video. In this video, I want to talk about when you're welding. You need to use your entire vision when you're welding. What do I mean by that? Like, a lot of times, guys just focus on the weld puddle, and a lot of times, guys, they have their face super up close to the weld. They're like almost like, their helmet with their face is almost like they're touching the weld almost. Like that's how close some guys get when they're welding. I know I'm exaggerating a little bit, but you get what I'm saying. Like when you're welding, you want to have your face pretty good distance away from the weld. Why? Because you don't only want to focus on the weld puddle. You want to be aware of your surroundings. You want to like when I weld, I don't just focus on the weld puddle. Like I use my peripheral vision. Like I'm focusing on the weld puddle, but I'm also aware of what's in front of my weld puddle, what's behind my puddle, all these things. Why is this important? For one, if you're just focusing on the weld puddle and you're not aware of your surroundings, that's a good way for you to get off track on your weld. Like, a lot of new guys, that was my issues. Like, you'll be welding and then you rear off the course of how your weld's supposed to go, and you're not even welding in the spot you're supposed to be anymore. That's another reason why I like to keep my distance when I'm welding, my face from the weld puddle, because I like to focus on I like to be aware of what's around me. It keeps me making sure that I'm going in the right direction where I should be welding. Another reason why I like to use my peripherals when I'm welding and not just focus on the puddle, but be aware of everything else around me, because I like to see I like to see behind the weld. How's the weld forming? Is it forming right? Is everything uniform? How's everything looking? Or if I'm doing like dual shield or flux or stick, I like to know how like the slag's setting. Is everything setting right? That's another reason why you need to be aware of how your weld is, laying out on the base metal. Another reason why I like to be aware of what's ahead of me, using my peripherals to be aware of what's ahead of me, because I like to plan. You can be like welding a piece of angle on, like a beam or something like that, and you got to wrap that corner. Well, if your face is all the way into the puddle and you're not aware of your surroundings, you can miss that corner and rear off onto the base metal just welding on the beam, and you're not even welding on the angle anymore. So when you're welding, I like to I like to plan ahead. Like, I like to sit, like, for example, say I'm welding on some angle. I'm like, okay, well, I know this is where I'm going to start. This is where, I know when I get to this point, I'm going to have to wrap around that corner. So I need to make sure that I'm prepared to wrap around that corner. So, um, if you start doing this, it'll help you out a lot. And, like, honestly, like, I wish I would have known this a long time ago. Like, the best way I can explain is when you're welding, yes, you're looking at the weld puddle, but also you have to be using your peripherals. And what I mean by that is you have to be aware of your surroundings. You got to be aware of what's behind the puddle. You have to be aware of what's ahead of the puddle. You got to be aware of, what you're welding, the base metal, all that. You just have to you have to have, the best way I can put it is just you just got to be aware of everything that's going on, not just the weld puddle. So I hope it helps you out. I know it's helped me out. And if you have any questions or concerns, please feel free to contact me anytime. Thank you.